Hey guys, I got the Wltoys 12427 out, and I ordered some of these oil-filled chocks for my 10 scale version of this buggy, but when they came in, they're the ones for this 12 scale. And they were supposed to have been green and black, but they ended up being yellow and bronze colored. So that's why they're yellow looking. I wish they were the green ones, but it still looks kind of cool. And the best thing is they're all oil filled. The front cantilevers are oil filled all the way around. It's got a nice, really nice, the best suspension it's ever had. I had oil filled ones only on the back before, but not on the front. Definitely helps it. This little buggy's a lot of fun. I got it running on a 1500 milliamp hour 2S LiPo. It's a Wltoys LiPo. And this thing is about the same speed as the 10 scale one, when the 10 scale was in high gear. So there's a lot of fun to be had here on this thing. Of course, you don't have, like the 10 scale one has low gear and locked rear diffs, where this one doesn't. This one now, the diffs are really stiff. So they kind of work like, works a lot like a locked rear in some ways, in some circumstances. So it will do some minor crawling over obstacles, like roots and stuff. It is not going to do any rock climbing or nothing. It's funny, it says rock climbing all over it, but we all know this thing is not a crawler. But I do like the way these little buggies look. But still, my all-time favorite I like is the blue 10 scale one with the skull on it and stuff. It looks a lot like an Axial Wraith, I believe. I seen one of those on AliExpress for $190, and there's no it's free shipping. So I thought about picking it up, but I hate spending $200 more on another one when I already have the green buggy, and it's the same thing. It just, I just like the looks of the blue one. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, just look it up. It's really cool looking. Wltoys, it's the 10428. This my trim is off. Steering trim. Let me try to get it right. Bear with me, guys. Oh, that made it worse. Well, these sticks aren't helping me none. Now it's going too much to the right. All right, that's pretty good. Yeah, this thing will still, I like the lights on it. I do like that. They're not super bright though, but it'll still get you around a little bit at night. That should be one thing they include on the 10 scale. Being it's twice the price of this, I think it should have lights also. Now I had to really adjust the shocks in the front. I had to tighten them down pretty good. They were really loose. They had oil from the factory. They're filled up. They use really thin oil. And I just kept the factory oil in there. I figured I can work with that. And it seems to be okay. Let's see if this thing will do good donuts now. Oh. It's trying. Getting too good a traction is what it is. It's fun blasting it through these leaves. I let my nephew drive this one a lot, and he really puts it through its paces. Man, he runs at full force into trees. And luckily, nothing's really broke, so. It's nice and quiet. The motor is. It runs really smooth. It's got just enough speed to be fun, like really fun. It's not bad for a brushed motor. I don't know if this 540 is faster than, it seems like to me the motor on the 14th scale buggy is faster. It's a 550 can, but I might be wrong, but it seems like that one's faster. And I would have thought they would have put the fastest one on this, but I'd like to compare them and see what their 550 can is like on this compared to this 540 can that's on it. And I believe this is the exact same motor that's on the 10th scale version. Just they geared the 10th scale version a little bit different. But this, you can use this as a trail truck. It doesn't have a real wide turning radius. It's one negative thing about it. But neither does with the 10th scale version. And you can't adjust the camber or toe on this either. 10th scale you can, which is nice. Of course, they're both solid axles on the rear. These shocks seem to be doing the job. I see them flexing. It's nice. It looks good. I don't have them overly tightened, and especially in the front. The very back, I don't have them tightened down at all. They're wide open. And between the spring and the oil, they seem to be doing its job right. And the shocks that I did have on it were a little bit shorter. They weren't the right size, so it has a better stance. It sits up better now. And the shocks in the back of this are working better than the ones I had on it. I think I had too thick of oil in it, or the springs were too tight for it or something. The ones I had on it, they just had the internal springs. The only way I could adjust those is to put a stiffer spring in it. And I didn't have any of that size, so I was kind of stuck with what I had. And it was still better than the original shocks. The original shocks in this thing are just like Jello. They're so floppy and they're real bouncy. This makes a world of difference. The way it drives, the way it handles. And I noticed at top speed and stuff, it doesn't flip over as easy. Where it's not as bouncy. It's got a lot more support from these shocks. Very nice. If you guys own one of these, it'd probably do you some good. If you really enjoy the vehicle, it's worth getting the oil shocks for it. But these costed me $30 after shipping and stuff. And I'm sure you can probably get them for a better deal than that. But that's really not a whole lot for a whole set of shocks. If you look at the prices of what things are today. This RC would be nice with a censored brushless motor in it. Thought about doing that to my 10th scale one. And I like my 10th scale one just a little bit more than this, not by much. I really enjoyed this one. it's kind of a different beast than the tent Skelwin. The way it handles and stuff, it reminds me more of like a rally car or something. It's a really cool little off-road buggy. And where the tent Skelwin is much more like a trail truck, where it's got the lock diff and you can put it in low gear for more torque. I see she's got the Axial Capra UTB 18 out. That thing's a beast. If you want to check that out on my channel, I got the 4-wheel steering hooked up in it. I got the original motor in that thing, but I put a Hobbywing 1080 ESC on it. That made a world of difference with that original motor. It made it run so much better. It's got a little bit more punch to it. More power, I've noticed. It's the way the power is sent to it, it's a lot better. It doesn't stall out like it did with the original electronics. Check that out on my channel if you want. Yeah, this is a fun little buggy. I'd say top speed is close to 20. And these tires are a little bit stiff. They're grippy, but they're kind of stiff. I don't mind them, they're not bad. All right, guys, I just wanted to check out how these shocks were. I just got them all installed on the thing, and they look good. They work just fine. You can see the cantilevers working in there. But hit me up with a like if you like this video, if you like this RC. Any questions or comments, hit me up in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for everything.